Vintage hats, shirts, golf gear supreme. Raiders of resale, living the dream. From whatnot to eBay, we score the loot. Vintage finds in every pursuit. Tips to cash in, stories so grand. Reselling raiders, rulers of the land. Reselling raiders, treasure we chase. Hathouse fired up, coaching the race. Vintage hat shirts, golf gear supreme. Raiders of resale, living the dream.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Reselling Raiders, where we talk everything eBay to whatnot. I'm hathouse, joined by Coach Porch and Fired Up Finds. We got a jam-packed show tonight. Definitely have a lot to talk about. Had some pretty kick-ass whatnot shows the past couple of weeks. Definitely want to talk about some promotion in the whatnot shows. I know we want to get to that. We always will have the bolos like we have at the end of the show, things you want to be on the lookout for that we've noticed. And some other great news, top 5 cities that have downloaded this. Number 1,
let's go.
Chatsworth. I didn't look up where it was from, but
Isn't that in Tennessee? Chatsworth, Tennessee, yeah.
Sounds about right. And then while you're looking that up, I know where Houston is. Houston's number 2.
H-Town, hold it down.
Minneapolis is number 3.
Chatsworth is a suburb in Los
Chattanooga.
Oh,
Angeles.
Wow.
LA. That's what I'm talking about. Raleigh and Chicago. So we got the big city. I mean, what, Houston, basically LA and Chicago, those are like the 3 biggest cities, right? It doesn't get much bigger than that.
Let's roll.
Look at us.
Yeah,
And also,
New York now.
Yeah. Also, I looked up like what are the 5 most. So we've done 35 total shows. This will be 36, and we just crossed 5,000 total downloads on our pod. So 5,000 downloads and less. What have we been doing this about 6-7 months? 35 shows. Really appreciate you guys out there.
Absolutely.
You know, what is disappointing? We only have 1 review, and that's our man Collab Closet. So really appreciate Collab. He's got the review out there. Please leave us a review if you can. Out of those 5,000 downloads, leave us 5 stars. We really appreciate that. I went back and I looked up so what were our best shows? We're kind of coming to the end here of the year, and I wanted to kind of review what have been our best shows, the most downloaded shows. You want to start with number 1 or number 5? We'll count it down.
Let's work it back. Yeah.
So number 5 was Reselling Raiders. What can you learn from bombing on whatnot? So everybody, yeah, kind of like we thought. Everybody loves a train wreck. Everybody loves
the train wreck. Bam!
That's so funny.
Everybody's done it. We've definitely done it, and we've learned a lot from bombing. So go back and check out that show if you haven't listened to that one. You definitely learn what not to do. Number 4, preparing for the new season, hot bolos and eBay updates. So we were kind of moving into fall, I think, at that time when we did that episode.
Yeah.
Kind of fall, and we were talking about what to be prepared for, what to kind of look for. And I think switching from seasons. So that was a really good one. Number 3, how to win at whatnot, big bolos, and how to make more profit. So definitely a great show right there. Definitely go back and check that one out. Talking about how we kind of make a little bit more money on each item. The number 2 show was best advice for new sellers. That was episode number 23. So Go back and check that one out. We had a lot of good stuff in there. I think that was when, was it your mom or mother-in-law, Mike, was starting to
Yeah.
get into reselling a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law, and so we had a lot of kind of real life examples there too to talk about. And number one, another train wreck, burnout, online arbitrage, and big bolos. So we were talking in episode 20 about getting burned out, kind of how we get around that, and what we kind of do to keep it rolling, because it happens to the best of us, and kind of ups and downs of reselling and how to fight out burnout. So check those episodes out. Seem to be the most popular. The top episode has 234 downloads. That's just in the podcast world. That doesn't include whatever goes out on YouTube or whatnot. So, and I'm definitely going to try to start pushing more short content out. Since football season's over now, I'll have more time to do stuff like that. So hopefully I'll start pushing some more shorts out coming up. So hopefully we can take another big step up. Really appreciate everybody this year. 5,000 downloads is awesome. So,
all right, for all you football people out there, he meant football's over for him.
Yes,
because he's Oklahoma.
Because them boomer damn Sooners.
They unfortunately lost yesterday, but not for everybody else. We know that we're going well.
I was rooting for them. I was rooting for them hard, dude.
They're never going to live down the old. Their nickname is Chokelahoma, so they're not going to live that down. They definitely choked that one. They had it, and they just it was rough. The only team to give up two 17-point leads as a college football in the college football playoffs. So it's tough day to be.
What an honor that is to hold.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I feel like 17 points in college is
that's not a lot.
Yeah, it's not a lot. Yeah.
No, but our defense,
but it happens so fast.
Yeah. Our defense was amazing though, and there is no reason we should have given that up. But it is what it is. I'm moving on.
24, heartbreaker, but it's all right, y'all. Hey, listen, you got to watch Sooner football in the postseason, which is always fun. You know, that is a good building block.
A lot further than my guys did.
Yeah.
I'm going to be as productive as hell now, though. I ain't got nothing else to do, so watch out.
I will say this.
It's the same thing. Sarah?
I will say this. Let's give a big shout out to that Naval Academy for capturing the Commander-in-Chief trophy.
There we go.
Yeah. I don't know how much we want to talk about football, but because I could have a football podcast, I think. But what do you think? I want your kind of feedback on this.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
Army Navy. I know it's like a sacred game played in December. It kind of has its own standalone. My idea is
it is the last game of the college football regular season.
Yeah, but the college football season is too long right now, so they're pushing it. The championship's not going to be until late January now, so the last actual NCAA game is not going to be till then. They need to shorten it up. Do you think it would be that bad to move Army Navy in November to Veterans Day week? Like, what if we did Army Navy?
You can't, because you have to literally go through the entire season to get to that game.
Well, you don't have to. I mean, you like to.
Well, you kind of have to, because they all three have to play each other
Right.
to see who's playing for that trophy. And Army Navy marks the end of the regular season for.
So
it also gives
Air Force, Army, Navy have to all three have played. Or...
Yeah, they all three play each other every year for that trophy.
Huh. Okay.
It also gives the other colleges a week off to get prepared for bowl season.
Yeah. They got to fix college football a little bit. There's no reason it should go till the end of January, though. So,
well, they have fixed it.
Yeah.
Now they've got all these spaces now for people that are not 1, 2, or 3 to get in and play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like listen. The more football, the better. I'm not even a big college guy, so
I'm not anymore. I'm out
yeah,
till August.
yeah. But you're like, I don't really even watch. I don't watch much college football throughout the year, and then obviously now
I only watch the games that have money on.
I'll watch the college football playoffs, but
Which is
I've
most
been-
of them.
I'm always in the camp of the more football games, the better, because I like the access. I like to be able to watch. Because then think about this. I despise baseball. So once you get out of football season, right? Then I gotta wait till September of virtually no team. Well, yeah, of no team sports that I watch. You know?
You don't get into
So,
hockey at all?
You got a great hockey team.
No,
yeah,
I
if you
like
watch-
I like every sport in the playoffs. Like I'll watch NBA playoffs, I'll watch baseball playoffs. No, I won't watch baseball. I'll watch baseball World Series. I will watch hockey playoffs. But regular season, it's because the thing that I like about football is that if one game means a lot. What I don't like about all those other sports is that one game doesn't mean a lot, you know? A singular game in a season doesn't mean as much because you have 160 games or 80 games or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So one loss is like, okay, like we don't want to lose, right? But like it's it's not the biggest deal. In football, it's like, okay, you can take one, you can take a couple here and there, but like there's only 16 of them, so it's not like you can't take a bunch.
Like
So
in college,
every game matters more.
it gets even weirder because it really depends on when you lose.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you can lose in the first 2-3 weeks of the season
Yes.
and recover from that. But if you lose at the end of the season,
Yeah.
toast.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's
So-
the same loss. It's the same amount of losses.
Yeah. Yeah, they got an interesting thing. So
Hey, Deb's in the chat. She asked, why do you want it to be shorter? I was talking about like cutting up like the show and putting it on social media shorts.
No,
That's
she wants to know why you want football season shorter.
Oh, well, great question. Because right now
great.
the transfer portal opens up in January now, beginning of January, for like 10 days or 14 days. The transfer portal is open, and the transfer portal closes before the playoffs even are over. And you also have all these coaching changes that happen, and they're happening while, like Lane Kiffin, he switched teams while his team's still going to the playoffs. So
well, that's kind of a different animal than normal. Normally they wait till the season's over.
Yeah, if you had if the season was more structured like an NFL style structure, like everybody ends at the same time, and they have a free agency window that opens up at the end. You can't switch teams. I just think their calendar is messed up, and they just need to get it fixed.
Well, I think what you're looking at right now is kind of the repercussions of expanding the college playoffs.
Right.
So I think they will probably take a look at it at the end of the year and say, okay, we gotta the Lane Kiffin thing. That's a dirty animal. They don't want that was
terrible.
That's outside the norm.
Yeah.
So they'll probably take a look at things and probably make different changes here and there. Like maybe they'll move the transfer portal later, stuff like that. Maybe they'll say, hey, you can't. They're never going to be able to tell you whether or not you can get rid of a coach. So that's always going to be up to the team. But coaches don't normally leave prior to that last whistle.
And college is a little different. It seems like there's a higher probability to get fired in the middle of the season. I mean, there's not many NFL teams that fire their coach in the middle of the season. Like this year, Penn State fired their coach in the middle of the season too.
Well, I think if you look at NFL last year, they had 3 coaches fired in the middle of the season.
Really?
Yeah.
And Mike Dabo got canned in the middle of the season this year.
Somebody got canned. Yeah, Mike Dabo got canned this year. The
Brian
Giants,
Dable or whatever his name is.
Brian Dabo, yeah.
Yeah.
From the Giants. He's shit canned.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that wasn't a thing And I mean, I feel like it's become more common over the last handful of years, is what it seems like. Because I mean, they've let go of Cleveland coaches in the middle of the year. That the Raiders coach,
it's Cleveland. You can't really blame.
the Raiders
You
coach
can't
though,
really
like
use
2 years
Cleveland as a
ago,
benchmark.
he got booted, and then they put in that one of the coordinators. Oh,
Is there a team easier to root against unless you were from Cleveland? I mean, they are the easiest team to root against. I mean, there's just nothing to like about Cleveland, right?
yeah, yeah. They just they.
I mean,
They deserve everything that they get. Mainly
it's not
because
like they've had bad players. They usually
Yeah.
have some pretty decent players.
they're gonna. What's
culture's
his name's
shit.
gonna set the sack record probably again this year?
Miles Garrett or whatever.
Miles Garrett. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, the
they
guy's
have-
an animal,
bro, talk about a wasted talent.
Yeah,
which
And
is so
Shedeur
terrible,
Sanders
dude.
Isn't bad.
No,
I mean, they probably should have just started with him. Even though I love my boy Dylan Gabriel, he came from OU to Oregon, but they probably should have just started there.
There's just a lot of weight on that kid's shoulders. He's got the weight of the world on his shoulders.
yeah.
Yeah, fuck Cleveland. So
Fuck Cleveland. You heard it here first,
that's
second,
so
and third.
Steven's getting this episode a big old E by it, you know.
All right, listen, back to Deb's first question. What about LA? She came in at the end of that talk.
Oh, we were just saying it was one of our most downloaded places. What was the suburb called?
Chatham?
Chatham.
Yeah.
Chatsworth?
Chatsworth. Is that where you're from, Deb? Are you the
Have you
downloader?
been downloading us?
Yeah, Deb's got the whole family.
She's got
Deb's got
everybody
the whole
in the
family.
county taking us down.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into what the podcast is about. Well,
If
leave
you guys
us a
don't like
comment.
football, skip the first 17 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yes. So we had some. I kind of put off doing my whatnot show until this week because, like I've said, eBay is just really slow this time of year for me. Until the first of the year, really. So that's one reason I wanted to do a whatnot show, to kind of keep sales normalized and keep sales good through this week, and went off really well. Had a blast in my whatnot show. Sold every single hat. Sold every single hat shaper. It went really well. I really had a lot of fun. And
those hat shapers were flying off the shelves.
they are. And they work really good. And what I like about mine is it's kind of more, you kind of want to have 3 or 4 of them. So if you get one and you like it, then you're going to be more inclined to get another one and
You
another
will.
one, and you're going to want
3 or
more than
4.
one hat
Mike, how many
shaper.
do you have? Mike, how many do you have?
I have given 2 of them away to my friends. So at one point I think I had 6 of them. But I believe I'm down to 4 right now.
I think
Yeah.
I think I have 4. I have 4 or 5.
Yeah, I've given them to friends that aren't not always resell. It wasn't really give, it was more of a borrow. I just have never gotten them back. But friends that I've showed, hey, you know, they'll
But here,
bring me
check these out.
Yeah, they'll bring me, and like I said, they have no idea about any of this stuff. They're just people that are like, you know, have bought white hats, have worn them out a couple of times, and they're dirty, and you know they're smashed in the bottom of their closet. So they'll bring them to me, and I'll clean them up for them, and then I'll be like, I'll send them off with one of those hat shapers and be like, hey, look, this is exactly how you do it, and you know, so that way you're not just buying a new era hat and wearing it a couple times and then until it gets dirty and thinking that, you know, you can never wear it again.
Right.
So they're as good for that as they are for you know, resellers. Definitely as a seller, I personally would have 10 of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Just to be able to knock out so many of those all at
Yeah.
one time.
Yeah, somebody finally asked, I guess kind of the golden question, how do you use them, or what the best way to use them in the show? And I don't think I've ever explained it I have lots of videos out there using it, but the best way to use it is just to wash the hat, put the hat shaper on, and let it dry. And with
quite frankly, you've told everybody how to use them like 27 times that I know of.
Yeah,
I mean, I put the hat clip here on this side, and then on this. I mean,
and then everybody's gonna
pretty sure that's out there.
Everybody's gonna use their own kind of little trick that they do, but yeah, it was good. I don't know if y'all.
I honestly look. I mean, obviously, I have some skin in this game with my man here, but I'm gonna tell you, look, I don't know anything that fills the hat as well. You know, I've tried and I've watched all his videos. I've tried all his tricks, but seriously, the hat shaper I've gotten from Mr. Hathouse 79, www.hathouse79.com, is the best at filling out your hat. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
That isn't $70.
Right?
Right. There's a $70 option out there.
Well, I mean, there's not just one.
Quite a few.
There's not just there's multiple.
There's quite a few. Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to shit on any of those guys. Like I'm sure their product is good, but all I'm saying is you can do a lot of things. You can do a lot of things with a $20 or a $22 hat shaper that you can do the same thing with a $70 hat shaper.
Yeah, what I kind of tell people, if you're just gonna fix one hat, then grab a pot, grab some towels, roll them up, put them in there, and be done with it. If you are, I guess it's just how you're going to go about it. If you're going to end up fixing a lot of hats and you're going to do a lot at a time, then the hat shaper is probably best for that. If you're going to want to do a lot of like the ironing part or the steaming part, then maybe the $70 one is what you want. I'm not a big steamer. I don't want to have to steam them all. I'd rather get them wet and then shape them than try not to get them wet and just steam them, if that makes sense. Because if you're just wanting to steam a hat, mine is probably not the best. But if you're going to get the hat wet and it's going to be malleable and ready to shape, then mine's the best.
Total lies.
I'll say
I've steamed plenty of hats on your hat shape.
Every hat that I've ever.
Yeah, you can.
Every hat that I've ever sold.
You just don't put the steamer against it.
Yeah,
I do. I put the steamer right against that shit. I mean, dude, I've shaped fucking 1,000. That's not an exaggeration. I probably shaped 1,000 hats on those hat shapers. And
with the steam directly on it.
Yeah, I put the steam straight on. How I do it, because I don't have enough. So if I wash 20 hats, I don't have 20 hat shapers to let them dry on. So right. I wash them, I put them outside or do whatever, however I'm going to dry them that specific time. And then I'll bring them all in, and 4 to 6 at a time, I undo the snaps. I steam the entire inside of the hat. I put it on the hat shaper. I strap the snaps as tight as I can. And then I run the steamer on the outside over the bill, under the bill, get it like the shape exactly that I want it. And then if it happens to need a little bit of starch, then I will. If it doesn't, then I don't do it. And I let it dry for like 5 minutes. And then I can pull it off and go on to the next one.
Nice.
I've had literally zero issues steaming.
FSJ's in the house.
FSJ made it on Saturday night too. Good to see you,
Heck
FSJ.
Heads, what's new, fellas? That's so funny. That's literally so funny. Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't think that's an issue.
Yeah, appreciate the commercial. Check out hathouse79.com. Get a hat shaper.
www.hathouse79.
Oh, also, I want to say this. If you want to buy a hat shaper, don't wait for this guy to put them on auction, because you're gonna end up paying more money. Like they literally were $20. I believe they were $20 in the Whatnot show as a buy it now, and he ran one at the very end on auction. He started off at $1 or whatever it was, and it went to like $25 or something like that. It was
Yeah.
it went a couple dollars more. So if you want to wait around to see if you can get it for $15, probably not gonna happen. So
Stuff like that happens all the time. I was watching Logie Joe last night. Everybody wanted his brand new hat he was wearing. He's like, they're in the bin. They're in the bin. And they kept hounding him. He says, all right, look, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to run one, started at $1, and it's going to go for more than to buy it now. What do you think happened?
Yeah, of
What do you
course.
think?
Of course. Like I
So,
said, it's the
Mr.
illusion. You know?
Fart Sack Jack wants his full name said.
Heck yeah. He deserves his
Welcome in,
full
my
name
friend.
said too.
Welcome
Because
in,
he
my
is
friend.
awesome.
Welcome in, Fart.
Yes. So Steven, how many hats did you end up selling? You had close to 100, didn't you?
Yeah, I sold about 110 hats
Yeah.
just in an hour and a half. And I've learned that that is my max. I cannot go much more than an hour and a half. It's just exhausting after that, trying to keep up with the chat, trying to just, and I'm not even pushing the buttons. I have Mary helping me push the buttons and starting it, and I know that other people have it a lot worse than I do, trying to manage everything and I don't even put the numbers on the hats. Yeah, y'all do it basically. Y'all doing it all, and I still can't. I still couldn't go much more than an hour and a half, but because you got to keep the energy. I mean the room is going to react as much and put in as much as you put in. So, and I kind of feel myself slipping away. I'm like, all right, we better. I'm just glad we made it through it all there. There was some good stuff in there. The prices probably, I don't know exactly what I expected them to be on for the most part. Some things went right at eBay comp. A couple of things went over probably what eBay comp would be. Most stuff landed about half of eBay comp, and that's really where you kind of expect to be. And I'm okay with it. I want to do it again.
That's typically how I look at it too. It's like, okay, so as is, over, whatever, you just got to, I look at for me, it's what's the grand total?
Yep.
I sold this many hats, made this much money, and then what is, the average sale price then?
Yep. Yeah, you have to look. You can't. My parents are a good example. They called me after the third Dale Earnhardt show, and they were like, "How'd you do?" And I was like, "Dude, it was the second best show of my life, of my whatnot life." I was like, the first best show was the last year's freaking Year of Fire, where I did my 1-year anniversary and sold a shirt for $2,000. And it was like,
insane.
it was almost $10,000 show. So that's obviously number one. And then I was like, this one was number two. And they were like, yeah, the jackets just weren't selling that great. And I was like, who gives a fuck? I was like, who gives a fuck, dude?
Yeah, Mom.
I
Who gives a fuck?
I was like, you can't look at the jackets, because I was like, there was 50 things that went over eBay comp, and it's just if you only paid attention to the things that got smoked and not all the things that went great, then like you're gonna be disappointed or whatever. But at the end of the day, when you look at it, like the first Dale show that I had, my average sale price per item was like $33 and some change, I believe. And then in the second Dale shirt and jacket show that I had, my average sale price per item was $39.63, I think. And so
you had the most AOPs in that one, didn't you?
Yeah, well, the exact same amount, 27 of them. So
Really?
yeah, well, actually one less, because I kept one out of there, so it was only 26. But so like when you look at it, it's like, well, if your average sale price per item is $6 more, you know what I mean? Like that's then who cares about the jackets? You know what I mean? Like that's the same thing with freaking Steven's hats. It's like he had some of those bangers were going right at eBay comp, a little more than eBay comp, and what more can you ask for? That's
Nothing.
fucking. If you get 10%, if you run 100 items And if you get 10, 15, 20% to go at eBay comp, that's really good. You know, that's really, really, really good. So,
Yeah, especially, I mean, when you're paying, if you're putting any into promoted listings on eBay, I mean, you're pushing close to 20% fee
absolutely.
against the 10 or 12 whatever on whatnot. So I think getting close to eBay comp is just, why not do whatnot? I think
Yeah.
everybody would.
Yeah. I think you did uh I think you did it right too, Steven. I think like the way that you put the show together with like going out of your way to get, half a dozen of the hype pieces. And by hype pieces, I mean like the ones that everybody that knows anything about anything can look at and they're like, I know these styles,
Yeah.
I know the splash, I know the shark tooth. It doesn't, not everybody is going to know the Ebbetsville flannel. You know what I mean? Not everybody's going to know the plain logo, maybe. You know what I mean? And so,
Yeah.
like, to be able to have those ones that really stick out that are kind of, it doesn't take somebody really deep into the game to know that those are valuable, good hats. And they go out of your way to get those, not even necessarily banking on the fact that you're going to earn profit from those, but you're hoping to break even on those, but drive the traffic to all those other items. In my opinion, is the best way to do whatnot. That's because I always think about that. I'm like, there's certain pieces that I'll pay up for that I'm like, this might be a break even piece. If it makes some, awesome. If it loses $5, no problem. You know what I mean? But they're here just for people to come in and be like, oh shit, he has this. I'm gonna wait for this. And meanwhile, I might at least bid, if not win, a hat before that happens. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think that's just a really good strategy to do if you're not scared to just get totally fucking smoked on it. You know what I mean? Which you can't be, right? You have to go in there super confident that like what you paid for it is a reasonable enough price to at least get you to a break even point or a very, very, very minor loss. You know what I mean? But that the
Yeah.
upside of that on like, you know, the viewership and kind of the social side is going to be worth it. And if you're not fucking scared to do that, like I think that that's a really good strategy for just other people too, especially if you're new. Like if you're new and you want to know how to not do 25 shows in a row with 5 people in there and no bids and you getting pissed off that you're in front of a camera for 2 hours and haven't sold anything, go invest a little bit of money into some high dollar shit, put it in a thumbnail, and then make sure you run it in the show. And let people come in there and be like, "Oh, dude, this thing is awesome." You know what I mean? And like that will get you some more traction. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it definitely will.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
don't ever start the show with it. I mean, if
No.
you're brand new, just like you're saying, try to get some traction in the show, get some people
People understand.
buying.
Yeah, people understand when you say, that, "Hey, that's the meat of the show. I got to wait a minute before I
Yeah,
run those."
for sure.
Yeah.
I would add on to what you're saying though, because Stephen brought a good bit of stuff in there. Don't be that guy that says, "Hey, I got whatever brand, say like a Grayson, and have one medium
Yeah.
in your entire show."
Right.
Because you do that over and over and over, people get excited about the fact that you're advertising. I have Grayson, I have Peter Millar, blah blah blah. But if you keep having them come in, they've got one, and it's a extra small. It's the opposite effect. Now people
Yes.
don't want to bother with you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want
You
to
got one
false
Grayson.
advertise.
You got one Grayson, and the rest of your rack is a full of PGA Tour.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I think having like how Steven did, having if you have 100 items, and we're not I don't want to just get balls deep into just hats, but just if you have 100 items in whatever category you're in, that you have, the kind of the cream of the crop pieces, say it's 10% of your show, uh, that you have the wherewithal to realize, okay, one of these can kind of go at the beginning. I'm not saying first, but kind of in that first, whatever 10th of the show, and then you know what I mean, and then you're able to sit there and kind of spread out some of those as they come along, and as you go along, you will learn that you also can't wait too long for some certain pieces as well. There's
Yeah.
always kind of this there is this sweet spot where it's not in the middle, and sometimes it's not the very last one, but there's somewhere in that last 3/4 that you're going to have a really good viewership, and there's going to be a lot of people asking for something, And Steven does a good job of being like, "Hey, if you guys want me to run it, let's drop a bunch of fires in the chat. Let's drop a bunch of something that will let me know that there's more than just one person in here that wants this thing,
Yeah.
And then you get that feedback from the audience, and then you're like, okay, well, could they still smoke me? Yeah, sure, but at least 10 people took the time out to write whatever I wanted them to write in the chat to let me know that they're listening, that they're engaged, that they're not watching something else, so on and so forth. So this time right now gives me the best opportunity to make the money on these pieces that sometimes you have to pay up for.
Yeah, you got to getting the feedback from the chat is just really, really important. And I mean, like you said, though, you can't do it every single piece, or you can't expect them to do it all the time. But on a show like 3 hours, maybe 2 or 3 call outs to the chat to, hey, are y'all still there? Lock in chat, whatever it may be. It's important because, I mean, sometimes you run something and people just really weren't paying attention. I mean, maybe something, people get distracted. It happens all the time. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. And if you have to buy, like you're saying, if you have to go out and buy the pieces to put in there, as long as the rest of your pieces are pretty much guaranteed to make money, it's not going to be a huge deal. I mean, I also paid $15 on Instagram. I paid $15 in Instagram ads. I always drop a reel, and I push a $15 ad for 24 hours before the show. And when you drop an ad on Instagram, you got to get a professional account. But if you drop an ad on Instagram, you can also put the link in there that takes them straight to your show where they can bookmark it. And that's what's most important, is to get the bookmarks, so it pushes you up in the algorithm once you get bookmarks. And then also, of course, they get the alert on their phone that your show's starting. So I think that $15 is more worth it than what we're probably going to talk about here now. We Fired Up has been running ads on his Whatnot shows all the time. We kind of wanted to share the numbers with you guys. We'll get to that. We're going to share the numbers next. I do want to answer a couple of the questions that were still in the chat. One, Fartset Jack asked about the printer. I only have one. It's humming most of the time. I don't know if you can hear it whirring in the background. It is right now. I'm trying to pump them out. And then Deb asked about how long does it take to make a hat shaper? The small ones takes like 6 hours. The large one takes about 7 to 7.5 hours to make. So sometimes I stay up late enough to get one started before I go to bed, and so I can start one as soon as I get up in the morning. So I just keep this thing constantly going. I always say that if you're going to get a 3D printer, it's the best thing in the world while it's working. If you don't like jacking around with little technical pieces and parts and fixing little things that go wrong, then I wouldn't get one. But if you're kind of mechanically inclined and you don't mind tinkering with stuff like that and fixing when it gets jammed or whatever it may be, and trying to kind of troubleshoot whether maybe the plastic that you're printing with is too wet or what's causing it, then I would get one. They're really fun to print all sorts of things. But if you don't have patience, I wouldn't ever get it. It's a pretty big investment too. It's about $600, $400 to $600 to get set up going with a 3D printer.
So basically, what you're saying is, Mike, don't get one.
Oh, dude, yeah. I'm not. I'm already freaking. I'm like 3/4 full on the amount of things that I can be involved in.
Yeah. If you're like the person that doesn't mind changing your oil or your air filter, or I wouldn't put it, it's not much harder than that to mess with it. But if you don't like kind of jacking around with that stuff, then I would say no. But just kind of how it can be a pain in the ass and it can be frustrating. But I think they're really fun.
Cool.
All right.
What, Steven, wait, just like I want to touch on this too. What did you do anything different in this last Whatnot show than from any of your previous ones? And more specifically, the more recent previous ones, because you did go on a stretch of like relative unhappiness with Whatnot. And then you're kind of like, I'm kind of, this is not really, I'm kind of just overdoing this that much. And then you come back and you come into an absolute heater of a show where like it doesn't really go an awful lot better than that. Especially on a consistent basis. Like, what did you do? Like, is it just like your attitude changed because you ain't been on there in a while and eBay is kind of slow? Or
that new setup he had. It was obviously the new setup he had.
It was a good setup. It was.
It was beautiful. That woodwork was beautiful.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? The 3 P's, right? You got to have product, promotion, and price. I mean, I had the product. I had the product that I knew would be a winner of a show.
Yeah.
Was the first thing. So then I had the motivation to do the promotion, and then I wasn't scared to drop the price. So that's really what it's about. I mean, it all starts with the product, and then being able to be motivated to do some promotion for the store, like craft stuff. I probably had the right price. It was $1, and I would have sold it all for $1 if somebody would have wanted it. But I didn't have the promotion. I didn't have the audience or to push it out to. I think the other stuff will just take a little bit of time.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily talking about the craft stuff. I was talking about the craft stuff. I've chosen to forget. But the hat shows that you did some months ago or whatever. The ones that you were kind of just like, oh, like these just didn't really go that great. It's like I'm not really all that concerned with trying to make this a thing. Did you notice anything different that you did or didn't do, or just like some time away type?
Yeah, I think I was just more motivated to have a good show and to put the effort into it that I've put in some shows. I mean, you get out what you put in, and some of those other shows I just didn't put as much effort into this as I did this one.
Yeah,
I think for you, it's it gets to be something when you're doing when you're trying to do every week.
Yeah.
Whereas when you do them every month or two, you get more up for the show, and that comes across. And then it's also the absence makes the heart grow fonder kind of thing. People are like, "Oh, Hathouse coming on! I gotta get there."
Yeah.
He's got great shit all the time, and so I think it's more for you is if you space them out, you're going to have a better time at it, and I think you're going to have a better ending.
Did you switch your time?
Steven?
You went a little bit later, right?
Yeah, I did. I usually go around 7, and this time I went at 9.
Yeah, so it's 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was one of the big, and this is just my opinion, is I think the largest factor, other than the fact that you had, probably at least in the top couple best products in your show, of the ones, at least for the time that I've been around, is probably pretty up there as far as the quality of stuff. Your time difference, I think, makes a massive difference. The biggest difference, other than your product and your price and your promotion, is if there was 3 P's and a T, that would be it. I really feel like the people that are on Whatnot that are buying in the categories that we're in, the people on Whatnot anyway, there's not going to be a lot of 75-year-old grandmas that go to bed at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a lot of younger to middle-aged people, most of which stay up until 11, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night on, on the East Coast. So if you can hit a time slot that you're capturing people that are home from work on the West Coast, and you can capture people that are laying in bed but before they go to bed on the East Coast, it's like the only time slot that you have really is like a 9:30 to 10 o'clock time slot Eastern Standard. You know what I mean? Like
The only thing is you can be up against some heavy hitters at that time too.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But if you're not going to be up against heavy hitters at on a Thursday or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now you try to do it on a Saturday, like Rob, he goes on Saturdays. I don't know what big golf sellers go on Saturdays. I know in the shit that I do a lot, men's vintage clothing, Saturdays are for Rocha. You know what I mean? Like Sundays are for freaking the Broken Bones display. Like those boys, unless you have straight flame, like off the rip, and you've been promoting this thing for freaking months, then you'll probably you'll probably be able to freaking pull some viewers. But those boys own those nights. You know what I mean? So you got to go on at a different time. At a different day if you want to go at the same time. So I think I don't like late because I like to wake. I'm a guy. I wake up early. You know what I mean? And so even when I go to bed late, I still wake up early. And so I don't like to be late, but late there's just less competition, and there's just you get good exposure and viewership late.
I agree. But how can we get more people in our show? I tried. So let's look at the not so good story here first. I tried to promote a show. You can spend on whatnot. You can spend $10, $15, $20 an hour to try to get some more viewers in your show. And here's my results from that show. Not awesome. So I was like $10 an hour, $15 an hour. I went an hour and a half. And so I spent $20. I got $28 in sales, only 3 purchases. So not too thrilled about those numbers. Anything that kind of stands out to you guys?
I'd really like to know how they figure that out.
Yeah, it's so 138% would sound like a great number, but I don't know many people that are going to spend $20 to make 28 and then get charged fees. So you're only made a couple of dollars really is all you made on the $20 that you spent to get those sales.
I mean, what are you taking home out of that 28?
A couple of dollars maybe. And that doesn't even cover your cost of goods. I mean, so it really was a losing proposition for me.
Right around $23 is what you're getting out of that.
Yeah. There's really, I lost money on using this. I guess 173 taps and clicks. I guess that I showed up in 547 people's feed. I'm assuming that's people swiping up and like going to the next show. Maybe they pushed me up in that algorithm to be the next swipe up on people that were in the men's vintage category. So Mike has a lot better numbers in this. We're gonna look at his next.
Well, here's my question. We're looking at this as going down. Okay, there's 3 purchases attached to that $20, but no bids. How is that possible?
I don't know if the numbers just hadn't registered yet.
I don't think that they never mind.
Yeah, Mike's numbers are a little more filled out because I think he's done it more, so maybe he has a little bit more information on his. Let's bring his up.
So I want to add on to this too, because there's multiple screens. There's multiple. It's an overview, right? So this is the one that I sent you guys was just the dollar numbers and stuff like that. But there's like a discovery metric. There's an audience metric. Then obviously this one is the buyers converted metric. So which is like obviously going to be the most important one. But I want to
think
give
buyers
context.
and new followers are probably the two most important out of that.
Yeah, I just want to give context to this. So what I did was I sent the guys this screenshot, and this is from January 1st to my last show of the year, which was December the 18th. And this is my numbers for the entirety of the year. So I did 61 shows all year. I promoted, I'll tell you this off the bat, I promote every single one of my shows at $5 an hour every time. It's the exact, I just follow the same formula that I do on eBay. I promote every single item at 5% every time, whether it's a TI-84 Plus or whether it's something that doesn't have a listing or a sold. Everything gets 5%. And so it's the exact same thing that I did from the very first time that I ever did Whatnot. I just followed the same, the same thing. Here are some of the numbers that aren't the ones on screen that we'll go over. I promoted for 111 hours. The viewers that came into the show directly off of my promotion is 7,164. I sustained, so it's longer than a minute, or sorry, it's longer than 30 seconds is a sustained viewer. 1,569 of those. So it's an 18% conversion rate from people that just tap and leave to somebody that stays for longer than 30 seconds, which I don't think is, they should probably up that time limit a little bit, in my opinion. I gained 354 followers just from a promotion. And then this kind of brings it into this one right here for everybody that's just going to listen. There were 80 first-time buyers from promotions. I remember I promoted in 61 individual shows. My total spend. So now when I go into here, Steven, if you can see, I sent you that screenshot the other day. My numbers have actually changed a little bit. My direct sales haven't changed, but my actual spend has went down a couple bucks. And my bids actually went up some, which is very interesting. But since I haven't done another show, but from those 61 shows, there were 80 first-time buyers that were just from coming in from being promoted. I spent on the metric that you see on the screen, I spent $777.04. The new metric that's on my phone is $768.24. That's how much money I spent all year throughout 61 shows to promote at $5 per hour. It's telling me that the direct sales that I got from people that are coming in from the promotion is $2,419, right? I think that this, it's a 314%. Oh, I guess on this screen, it's 311% return on my spend. And then the 7-day, it will always change. This is one of the ones that I wanted to talk about the most, though, is that the number of bids from your promotion is 1,815, right? I think that one, in my opinion, is much more important than your 80 buyers or whatever. Because when I look at 1,815, what I do is I say that's $1,815 at a minimum. Because if you bid and you don't win, you up the price by $1 for somebody else. You know what I mean? So like there has to be, and I don't know if I'm thinking about it the right way. It's just kind of when I glanced at it, I was like, you know what? I was like, that if you just attached a monetary value to how many bids come from a promotion and just say that monetary value is 1, then I'm like, then that you can almost add 1,850 into your direct sales, because, and obviously some of those bids for sure are
ended up
into
being
the direct
sales.
Yeah. So like, is the math 100% no? You know what I mean? But just like in a general thing, there is some percentage or some dollar amount that is going to be attached to the bids from promotion for all the people that bid and didn't win. And so like that's another factor that I don't know how you would ever be able to tell the exact number, but it's just another thing where like, okay, well, even I am still making money from that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, for sure.
and yeah. And so like this is just what I wanted to include it because you had sent the screenshot of just one show. And I just wanted to send a whole year. Like because I hadn't clicked on it either. I was like, let's just send the whole year and see what happens. So what do you guys think about it?
It is interesting. I would be a lot happier with these numbers. I mean, you're 360 or 311 against my 100 return on spend is definitely better. I don't know what my bids from promotion is yet because it had NA on there. Kind of like you said, it may just kind of be updating.
Yeah, I think it takes a couple days to update.
I'll be interested to see that number when it comes out. And I wouldn't mind doing it if I ended up with something that looked more like this. And I'm going to need a little bit more data, a little bit more time to use it. I'll probably go down to the $5 like you do. I just kind of wanted to hit it kind of hard to see what it did. Wasn't impressed with one show, but
so I will say this. I have throughout this whole year, I have also tinkered with I said I always do 5, and that is true. I do always do 5. But I have tinkered probably on I'll say probably 10 shows. Probably 10 shows all year I've tinkered with when I've started a show having $10 in promotion. And I've also started shows with $2 in promotion. And I notice a dramatic because, and I don't even know if you can see it as a viewer, I'm not 100% sure, but as a seller on my side of things, I can see when people join a show via promotion. And I can also see when they buy via promotion. So so there's an optic to it that I can see and be like, okay, I know X number of people are coming in here via promotion. And so when I did $2, it was a very noticeable I can't see what it says. Oh, $73 from promotion. Oh, that's probably from like the community boosts, I'm guessing.
Community boosts, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So at $2, I noticed almost nothing. Like there was just almost no people coming in from a promotion. And then on the flip side of that coin at $10, it was literally no change at all. And honestly, in my personal opinion, this sounds dumb and it's probably not true, but in my personal opinion, I felt like it was less than 5. Like I felt like when I did it at 10, it was less viewership or less people coming in from a promotion than when I do it at 5. So like I've never ran an entire show. I've never ran a whole show at 2 or at 10. I've done partial shows at 2 and partial shows at 10. And then I always just, 30 minutes into it, just go back to my 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And 5 is just what it's always nice.
I mean, I didn't notice a whole lot at spending 10. I mean, Mary probably would know better than I probably should ask her. She pays attention to the chat a little more closely than I do, but I only saw maybe 1 or 2 people. It seemed like to me that actually came in and were highlighted as joined by promotion.
Joined by promotion, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's just like I said, I kind of just there was no rhyme or reason for my for why I chose that number or anything. It was just I was used to 5% on eBay, and so I just did 5. But I figured $5 an hour. It's not, that doesn't make me or break me. That doesn't, And right. So and then I was actually just surprised kind of at the end when I sent that to you guys, because Steven had sent his promoted from the show, and I was like, well, shit. I was like, I have an entire year of metrics. So like, let's see what it says. And I'm overall happy with it. We've talked about this before too. Does it actually matter? I don't know. I don't know because I've never done a show not promoted. I haven't. I've never listed an item not promoted either. Right? So like, does it matter? I don't know. You know what I mean? But I know it works. Like I know what gets 50, 60, 100 people into a show, right? So like I know what sells items on eBay. So could you do it without it? For sure, absolutely. 100% you could. Is it harder? I don't know. I have no idea. But it works for me. You know what I mean? It's not an end all be all type of thing.
Well, that's really all that matters.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be different.
Absolutely. I would guess I would guard against. Don't go balls deep. You know, don't go in there. Oh, I'm gonna spend $30. You know what I mean? Like, don't do anything crazy like that. I just throw a couple bucks at it.
Yeah.
You know, and just see what happens. I guess.
Just the tip.
Just a tip.
Just the tip. And you got to remember too. You got to have more. You know, you got to have a little bit of time to kind of really fill out the metric. You know.
Yeah,
So.
that's what I'm saying. My story's not written yet. I mean, I at least need to give it 2 or 3 more shows to try to kind of figure out if it's worth it. If I can get mine close to where yours is, I wouldn't mind doing it. And I need to next episode, I need to pull up my Poshmark because my return on ad spend there is close to $3. eBay hangs around $8, but I'm not disappointed in my Poshmark promotions either. So I think I'm thinking that I'm actually going to push it up. And if you want to do an interesting exercise with AI, take your numbers and just screenshot your numbers, stick it into Grok or I guess ChatGPT if you use that, and ask it to analyze it and say, hey, what do you think about how my advertising dollars are being spent here? How does it compare to the industry average? Would you put more money into advertising? Am I making enough back with my cost of goods basically being this? And just kind of see what it spits back out to you and kind of analyze your business using AI in that way. I did that with Poshmark, and AI is telling me to actually push more money into it, that I would get a bigger return if I would spend more money on Poshmark. My drawback is the return on ad spend, that the number that I kind of look at, is not as good as eBay. So actually, should I be promoting higher on eBay? I need to stick those numbers into AI and kind of compare them. I haven't really run eBay through the AI, but I thought it was a lot of good insight from Poshmark. And like anything, if you're getting your stuff for $1 or $2, it's hard not to be profitable if you find a model that gets you more sales and keeps pushing up the top line sales metric. There's no losing when you don't spend hardly anything on your items. And I think that's where AI kind of picks up, and where people kind of that have that model or have that business model is, why not spend more money to get more sales? It just kind of makes sense. And I think we get caught in this, well, I don't want to give eBay any more money or Poshmark any more money or whoever any more money. But if you're gonna push your top line sales, I think it's money well spent. But
Rob, my bad.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
What do you think about those numbers, and what's your opinion on because you're a guy that strictly does not promote at all?
Nope.
So,
I don't.
Like, can you give us a breakdown of your reason, or have you ever tried it, or?
No, I can't say I have. So seeing yours and Steven's numbers is quite interesting, but would it benefit me? I don't know. It might be interesting to test it out. You know,
I mean, there's no specific reason that you've never done it before?
No, and I would say it's probably because when I started, that wasn't an option.
Yeah.
that's something that's come along in the meantime. So
Yeah.
it's just never something that I've thought about.
Sweet. Good insight.
I mean, it's just what it is, man. I've just never
Yeah,
really
I
thought.
know. Yeah. Yeah, I think if you already had, like Rob and Steven, as a matter of fact, I think especially if you already have a viewership, if you can already jump onto a show and there be 25, 30, 50 people, whatever, in there, and you already have that at an unpromoted, and like an unpromoted standing, and then you promote on top of that, like, that's kind of, I think there's just a big benefit in that, like, because you've kind of already done like really a lot of the groundwork as far as kind of getting a base layer amount of
Well,
buyers and viewers that come in.
I'm sitting here now in a just a precarious position, as you guys know. So maybe I'm thinking, maybe it's worth testing whenever I can finally get back to doing shows.
Yeah.
For people that don't know, I'm stuck at work on night shift for the next 2 months because I have a couple of staff members out with broken limbs.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean,
That's crazy.
everyone you pick up and you get a bid, that's an extra $1.
That's
you're getting an extra
So I'm
$1.
thinking, it might be worth checking out, seeing, hey, what does this do for me now that I've had this gap away of time, and I know what that's been like in the past because I have in the past taken like the winters really slowly, and spent a lot of quality time with my people around me for Christmas and stuff like that, and just kind of drag through a show here and there during the down months for golf. So it's I know what that's like to be away and then come back is what I'm saying, and then how to build up that momentum again. So it would be interesting to test the promotion theory.
Yeah, I guess my
Get
question
away
is
and coming back again.
Yeah, is it pulling people that are in that category? I guess where is it pulling people from? Or are they just pulling people from the main page that may not care about a FootJoy polo or don't care about a snapback hat? I mean, I guess, are they trying to pull people in the category?
Is it mainly that category, or is it the For You category that they're looking at, which would be any number of people coming through?
Yeah. It'd be interesting to know kind of how they're pulling those together.
I'd have to imagine that it's got to be at least relatively targeted. You know what I mean? Because there's no, like, I just look at them like that's 80 buyers and over $2,000 just in sales from those buyers. That they got to be targeted people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then again, there's a shit ton of people that you're right. Actually, as a matter of fact, there's a shit ton of people that join those shows.
That could be. Now wait a minute. That involved your Red Hot Chili Pepper shirt, right?
No. January, did it?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh.
The reason I say that is,
or last year?
What if it? The reason I say that is because what if the one guy was in from promotion that spent the $2K? Now that's really going to skew your numbers.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that would be crazy. See, so it says. So there's 7,164. So here, just of sustained watchers, right? That whole 30-second metric. There's 1,569 people that stayed in one of my shows via promoted for more than 30 seconds. Of that, this is where it gets weird. Of that, 80 of them. Oh, sorry. So see, this is only first-time buyers from promotion.
Right.
Well, I guess that makes sense. That's all you're really targeting. So 80 buyers out of 1,569 people that stayed for longer than 30 seconds. So
only 80 people bought out of the 1,500?
Yeah, so of the 1,500 people that stayed for longer
Only
than 30
80
seconds,
people were first-time buyers.
there were only
Okay.
80 first-time buyers from promotion. And then this says the total number of first-time buyers you gained from promotion. And then the sales, yeah, like the direct sales from promotion divided by your promotional spend. And then the 118 or the 1,818 is the number of bids from buyers who found your show via promotion. So I don't know what the math is on.
There's hundreds of thousands of people turning off this podcast right now.
Well, if they suffered through 20 minutes of college football.
Of the 5,000 people that downloaded, what percentage are still here watching us do math?
I don't know. Did we
So
promote?
Is that 19%? That can't be right?
Did we promote?
80 divided by 1,500? Is that what you were doing?
Oh, no. I was doing it the other way. That 5, I don't know. I don't do math. You
What's
guys
the
figure it
number?
out.
What are you trying to figure out?
Longest buck?
Yeah, 5%.
Okay, yeah. So 5% of the people were first-time buyers. Oh, shit. I don't know how you did that so fast. I didn't go to college.
He just looked at your number and rounded it to 2.
Whatever, dude. Sorry, dude. Flex your bachelor's degree. I don't know what to tell you.
All right, guys. I think it's time for the music.
Hey, listen. You don't have to be smart to be no damn fireman, dude. You gotta be there.
It's photo time. Drop your favorite cash find.
All right.
Raiders keep you.
I don't have much. Like I said, it's been rough here.
Oh.
But I'm going to give it my best. Because I got some good new with tags. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong slider. This slider. And that took it all the way down. Good job. All right, Rob. What do we got here?
Oh, the Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man. The Muffin
All right,
Man.
I want you guys to
Griswold.
check these out. Griswold cast iron. Okay. Specifically, the 949 number 10 11 muffin pan. And if you look on the bottom of the pan, it'll say Griswold. It'll say Erie, Pennsylvania, and it will have the 949 on there to recognize it. So like a lot of cast iron, these are the Grail muffin pans from Griswold. They run about 90 to 95 dineros. That woke us up. Dev said, you got that cranked up. She dancing now.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's 11 spots on the muffins, and it's very cool cast iron stuff that sells pretty quickly.
Yeah, the cast iron stuff is kind of like anything. I mean, there are some out there, pots and pans that you can get that are $500 to $1,000.
Yeah.
Some people put a lot of work into restoring this old cast iron stuff and get a lot of money out of it.
You just can't kill this stuff. Now, everybody knows Howard Brothers, I believe. What I came across this week for you guys is the Shaman, SHAMAN, full zip hoodie. And there's a range of like 60 to 80 here on the screen that we're looking at. And that's going to really depend on, what it is, the features, the material, the look of the piece, how you price it up. But it's a good piece to get hold of. I mean, Howard Brothers does well with a lot of their pieces. I find this one to be one of their better ones.
Yeah, usually they have the really cool button-up shirts.
Yeah, I have sold a couple of those on my eBay as well. One of them was just sick looking. If I can find it before we end, I'll show it to you.
Yeah, I had the one that had like these big embroidered alligators on it.
Wow.
That was really cool. I've seen that one before. And then they make a lot of AOP kind of stuff too. All right, what do you got, Mike?
Oh, I just want to show you guys one that has absolutely nothing to do with bolos, but it's one of my most proudest moments.
All right.
I sold these Power Rangers for $7.
Nice.
These were the
$7.
Bandai Power Ranger 1998 guys. Don't fucking buy those. I was so proud to sell those because that was the oldest thing in my store. It was like 568 days, I think.
Yeah.
When I 568 days was like, yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty old. It's like going on damn near 2 years. And so not really, I guess like a year and a half, but still, I was really stoked about that. Here you go. Here's some cool ones. To be honest, I haven't listed in 2 weeks, so I don't know if I showed you these, but we sold this one like yesterday or the day before. This is a vintage key to the city. This is Oxford, Alabama. Not not this city in specific, but if you find keys to the city, almost all of them are worth $100. I had this one listed for 164. I took an offer for $100 literally last night during the Alabama game.
I didn't know people left their keys to the city laying around.
Yeah, this one came out of a storage unit, the same storage unit that you guys remember a couple shows ago where I showed you the Alabama player issued jersey.
Yeah,
the same storage unit the guy bought. This was in there as well. So I got that. I don't really got a lot going on, dude, to be honest. Freaking trying to see any other like good. Oh, here you go. This has like a super high sell-through rate, which is awesome. I don't pick up a lot of Orvis stuff. But these were vintage Orvis wool plaid pants. They're from the 90s. The sell-through rate is over 100%, and they sold for freaking $40, and with like a little hole in the back of them, really fast too. I think in like 2 or 3 days. So that was a nice little one. Last one. I don't know if I want to show you these real quick. Some brands that I had never heard of until just a little bit ago. This one is called Anna Sui. This is a women's like top and skirt kind of suit set, I guess. It kind of has like fringes on the bottom, a little off the shoulder. It's all for $105. There's a lot of more niche designer brands, especially in the vintage world, than I've ever heard of. Everybody kind of knows the hype ones like the Gucci's and the Louis and stuff like that. But there's a lot of like really, really, really good kind of like designer brands that you can look out for. This is what the tag looks like. For anybody that's just watching, it's kind of just a big ass black tag. This is Anna, ANNA, and then SUI at the bottom of it.
Never seen
anytime you come across it, but anytime you come across something like the rule that I have is that if it has a paper tag on it in women's, if it has a paper tag on it, I literally always just look it up. If it's like paper tag made in the USA, I'll look up the brand because I've been so freaking surprised over the last probably year of the amount of things that as a man not knowing much about women's clothing up until just some time ago, that there's so many brands out there that are really, really good and have really good sell-throughs and really good sale prices. That Anna Sui was $105. So, yeah.
Wow. Mine is not a lot. But what I do want to bring up is how I've talked about it before. I haven't talked about it in a while. How the difference in prices on Etsy can be over the prices that you're getting on eBay or whatnot. They can be kind of staggering. Check out like this. This is like a $20 hat on eBay or $15 hat. Actually, I think it's set on eBay for 6 months, and it's just a vintage Michigan Wolverines hat. Not anything that amazing, but $44 on Etsy on that one, which is an excellent price. This Coke hat, $37 on Etsy for a Coke hat. I mean, that's a $20 hat on eBay.
Is that going
That's
to
still
Israel, or why does it say Israel at the on the end of it?
Good question.
I
I
was
think it
still
did.
expecting a white hat.
That's interesting.
Yeah. You were expecting a Coke hat?
Coquette.
Yeah, cocaine white.
And then just like this Cabela's trapper hat, $50 for this Cabela's hunting trapper hat on Etsy, compared to probably $30 on eBay, to $25 to $30 that you'd get for that on eBay. And it's on some cases, you're talking 50 to 60% more that you get. I do have to wait a while. This one was kind of cooler, had kind of like this arc, but that would probably be a $30 or $40 hat on eBay. And it seems like I do have to wait longer, but the sales price ends up being more. And that's why I'd say if you're worried about the sales price, or you want to try to get the most profit for something, Etsy is not a terrible way to go and to put your stuff there. If you're not like a huge reseller and
It's got to be vintage though, right?
it does have to be vintage. You can't put up just a brand new Titleist hat on here
And call it vintage.
and call it vintage. Yeah, you can't do that. So,
Yeah.
And shirts do really well there too. Any vintage clothing can do really well on Etsy as well.
Perhaps that's where I'll put the 2 boxes.
You said this before, Steven, but I forgot. Do your cross listing, like, so for instance, this Washington Cougars hat, you had that on eBay and Etsy, correct?
Yeah.
And did you put them for $55 on each platform?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I use the same prices on every platform.
Okay.
eBay will get marked down through my normal markdown process. Etsy, I will keep it the same price.
Okay.
So I won't really do a markdown there.
Gotcha.
If I can hit the right button. Steve had a great question too. Do you advertise on Etsy? I don't. That's one thing I don't really spend the advertising dollars there, because it does seem like it can eat you up with the advertisement on Etsy, since you're already paying, because you have to pay what, 30 cents to list it, 30 cents to list the item to begin with. And it's just kind of one of those things. I just leave it there. And if I get a banger sale, then I'm happy. But I'm okay with just kind of leaving some stuff in Etsy, just to, you wake up and you sold 2 hats and made $100. It's pretty cool. So.
Yeah, they told me that at the flea market 2 weeks ago, that one of my buddies has been selling a lot of like high dollar vintage t-shirts on Etsy, which is interesting because we talk about that all the time. We're like, it's super fun to find the high dollar like vintage shirts or hats or whatever, but they take a long time to sell.
Yeah.
They're not usually one that you list and they're gone immediately. So
Here's one I talked about, new with tags. I haven't. Well, that's the wrong damn thing. There it is. New with tags, even a Banana Republic. This one is actually wool, and when you're looking at like wool pants, you don't see it in the description here, but it also says 120s. So it's a really soft wool. It's a really good wool, the virgin wool 120s. This one was new with tags, $80 on it, and even just like a basic Banana Republic brand, new with tags can still be really good. And I happen to get a lot of these, so
it's going overseas too.
This one is, yeah.
Or
I think
international.
Yeah, it was a really good sell. I have several of them, so hopefully they keep selling pretty well.
Yeah, the new with tags game, if you guys are looking stuff up, like if you were to type in that brand and style, and you're trying to look at your sell-throughs and stuff like that, make sure you filter to new with tags, because you don't want to look at sell-through rates of new with tags and pre-owned if you have new with tags. You only want to look at new with tags sell-through, because it often dramatically changes your statistics on what your rates are.
And this kind of hits my rule of thumb too. $80 on this pair, the tag says 160. So kind of if you're ever out and if you find a something new with tags and it's just like a basic mall brand, usually you can plan on, if it's a $60 tag on it, then I'm going to list it for 30 on eBay, and that's probably about what I'm going to get to sell it in a reasonable amount of time. And that's how I usually kind of judge if I'm going to pick something up that's new with tags out at the thrift, and whatever half of the retail is on that tag, that's what I would probably list it and get for it on eBay. Of course, there's some things that sell for over retail, but that's just kind of the general rule of thumb I have there.
That is a good rule.
All right. We made it through.
Right. We did.
Appreciate everybody hanging out today. Had Steve in the chat. We had Deb in the chat. We had Fart Sack Jack. Got to spell it all out. We got Cruisin' in the chat. He dropped a question last minute. We'll answer it. What's the fastest way to spot a $60 plus hat in a mixed $15 bin?
Feel.
Yeah.
Feel. If there's a bunch of twill and you feel around and one feels like wool, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that that's probably going to be your $60 hat.
Yeah, for sure. That's a really good way.
Mm.
And besides that, the brightest, the most colorful,
the craziest
whatever.
design, the most notable team. Yeah, there's probably a couple answers to it. If it was Helen Keller and all you could do was be blind and use your tactile whatever, I'd go with it. If you can find a wool or a wool blend, it's probably going to be probably more money. Boys, are we going to knock one of these out before Christmas? We're going to do like a little Christmas Eve pod or something, or what do you guys have going on?
No, I can't.
Okay.
That's the night I do Christmas with the kids in Tokyo.
Okay.
So
should we tell everybody Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and we'll see them?
I think we have to. Look, I got my Christmas gear on.
Yeah. Okay.
For
cool.
sure. We'll try to squeeze one in, but if not, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to all.
Absolutely.
We appreciate
And
it.
to all, good night.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys got a bunch of Whatnot eBay gift cards, because we're coming in with some fucking heaters first of the year. Okay.
Or maybe February.
Merry Christmas, Dev.
Yeah. Save some of your gift cards up for Coach when he gets back in February.
Merry Christmas, Quirky.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Leave us a review on the podcast side. We really appreciate that out there. Thank you so much. Cruisin', happy holidays. Appreciate you swinging by. We'll see you guys again real soon. You'll probably see us in the shorts land in your reel feeds. So hopefully I can get some of that going. Until next time, when we talk everything eBay to Whatnot, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. See you.
Absolutely.